Good afternoon. Today is June 20th, and you are listening to the live feed of the Indigified podcast, sponsored by the Great Plains Action Society, right here on KWTN 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska, the Big Voice Radio, official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. As always, all opinions shared are not a reflection of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, the Big Voice radio station, or the Great Plains Action Society.
How is everyone today? Today is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. I just want to make mention of that. No,
it's Podcast Tuesday.
Podcast Tuesday. So today's episode, we are going to be talking about financial literacy with our special guest, Tony Wood from Ho-Chunk Community Capital Corporation. But first, we're going to do the mental health check-in. So Monica.
Okay, so we're going to do the mental health check-in. So Trisha. I know. How are you feeling this week?
I am feeling pretty good. Still stressed out. Still tired. But still good, though. But that's just because we have, again, the MMIR Powwow coming up. I feel like we're going to hear that a little bit probably next episode, too. But overall, though, I feel really good. A lot of good things in the works and just, just really good. How about you, Monica?
Gee, not that fake. How about you? How about you? I'm doing really good. I feel really good. I'm having a great week. That's like really cool, right? Because that's basically what my answer was last week. I'm really like on point with everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm feeling good. On point. Yeah, I'm on point. Listening to love songs and stuff.
Okay. Weird. No.
Weird. But yeah, I guess I don't really have much to update, like on a mental health aspect. Definitely taking care of myself, making time for myself. I've been hiking lately with like Saint, taking him out, enjoying the sun and the warmer weather. It was so hot yesterday. It was hot. Yeah. And I was like, poor Saint was just panting away. I was like, oh, poor baby.
You're like, oh, good health. No.
I know, right? And I'm all like, woo, until we were going up the hill and I was like, pull me. Pull me up this hill. But okay, so this would be Tony's first mental health check-in. How are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling pretty good. Nice 3-day weekend. Actually, my kids come for the next 2 weeks, so definitely things are looking up. So.
Good.
Right on.
We love that. We love a good 3-day weekend too.
Right on. So, do you have any icebreakers? I know you don't?
I do.
Oh, you do? I was like,
I have it ready right here.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Icebreakers.
So, it's that same, like, this or that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
No.
It was like I had a lisp. This or that. Okay. So, this or that. Would you rather arrive early or leave late? That's what's up there.
Can we arrive late?
I know, right?
That's
what I was thinking when I was looking at it. I was like, can we arrive like fashionably late?
Attack. No.
Like hair is done. Because if I arrive early, my hair is not going to be done. It's just going to be in a ponytail.
I think, arriving early. But that's just kind of like the professional, like,
right.
Like, it's always good to be early, but also, too, if you arrive early, you're going to be put to work. No.
Right. So I try to arrive early, but if I had to pick one, it would be leave late because I'm always leaving late because, oh, wait, does that mean leave like the event late or leave your house late?
I don't know.
I don't know either. They should have been more
specific.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was like leave the function or like the event late.
I feel like the social anxiety piece of me is like I'll arrive late and then I'll dip out early. That's the
opposite of both.
That's my answer.
I feel like I always leave late because I'm always talking. Like, like whenever you have like an event, I feel like I'll be like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to be done at this time. And then I'll do this and then I'll do that. And then before I know it, it's like an hour after. And I'm like, okay, you need help putting stuff in your van or what? Yeah.
So what about you, Tony?
I would be early.
Yeah.
Early. So I was It wasn't always like that though, so I just say it probably the last 10 years.
Everyone's
so.
like watching, like,
Right.
no,
He's
okay,
lying.
no. That's funny. All right, what's the next one?
The next one is, would you rather read the book or watch the movie?
I like book. I like reading the book first
Mhm.
because I feel like it's just better. I
Mhm.
mean, like, for your brain, and then, like, I don't know, like, I like to be creative in my own mind. So when I
Right.
read something, I put it together.
Right.
But then, like, you have, like, Harry Potter, right? And it's made into movies, and it's just, like, not what you expected. Or
Yeah.
like Lord of the Rings. I know I'm a nerd. Just don't judge me. But you
She
have,
said,
like,
don't judge me.
you have all these expectations, and then, like, you see it in movie form, and it's like, oh.
I know.
But it's still good. But,
Right.
aw.
But
Yeah, so.
what about you, Tony?
I would definitely be movie. I mean, because I don't like turning the page, but nowadays there ain't even books anymore. You just go and scroll. So,
Oh, yeah, that's
But-
true.
but yeah, movie.
So mine is different. So I read a lot of books,
Mhm.
right? But I don't read a lot of, if it's not real, is that nonfiction or fiction? I think it's like fiction.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't read a lot of books that aren't real. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I also don't watch a lot of movies. But you have brought up like Harry Potter, right? And
Yeah.
I was a Harry Potter nerd. So I read all the Harry Potter books, and then when I would watch the movies, there was like so much missing
Mhm.
from like the book. So I don't have an answer. I don't really watch TV, and then the books that I read don't get turned into movies.
I don't
So
really have an answer.
do you want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay. So would you rather watch Netflix or go to the movie theater?
Man, I like the movie theater because I like the popcorn.
Exactly.
That's the only reason, though.
Yes.
And like just going to the movies in general. I like to get ready. I like to take my kids to go to see the movies. And yeah, I think it's more about the memory part of it.
The
But-
experience.
Yeah. But I mean, I do like my Netflix. So.
Right.
What about you, Tony?
Can we change it from Netflix to Soap Today? Oh wait, my favorite pirate movie. My favorite pirate movie channel is gone now, so I don't know what to do. But yeah, I think probably staying at home because then I could make my own popcorn and
Yeah.
all the treats. Plus, candy doesn't cost $6. So
Oh my gosh, I know.
Okay, so I sneak my candy in.
okay. so
Pro tip.
you're fessing up. So.
Yeah, I
Right.
will. I tell everybody. I'll tell the people when I'm buying the tickets. I'm very honest. I go to the Dollar Tree before. I ball out. I get all my favorite candies. Put them in my big auntie purse, and I'm
Big
good.
auntie purse.
I even get my drinks too.
It's got like the big buffalo on it.
Not that sacred.
It's all quill work. No.
Oh my goodness. So mine would kind of be like the same thing, right? I would go to the movies because I want like the big bucket of popcorn. Like I
Mhm.
love movie theater popcorn, extra butter.
I'm not judging. That's
I'm judging.
I love the
I'm
extra
judging
butter.
myself right now. Like, no wonder why you're so greasy on this camera, girl. But but I like Netflix because, again, I don't watch a lot of movies, but on Netflix I can watch like my documentaries and like my cooking
Yes.
shows and my home improvement shows. Telling you somebody's grandma is just born in a later generation.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, thank you, Trisha. Thank you. I feel so much better now.
That's good. You
I
should.
know.
You
And I
should
mean,
feel better.
nobody's commented and been like, girl, you sound crazy.
She's like, I got 30 cats at home too, and they need love. No.
It's only one. It's one cat, one dog, okay?
So let's get into today's episode. So today
Okay.
we're talking about financial literacy. Financial literacy is the knowledge of how to make smart decisions with money. This can include preparing a budget, knowing how much to save, credit cards. So I'm going to swing it back over to Tony Wood to do a formal introduction. Tell us who you are, what you do, and yeah, a bit about
A little bit about yourself.
About
yes,
myself.
yes.
Okay. Well, I said I'm Tony Wood. I'm a Winnebago Tribal member, and I'm the CDFI coordinator for Ho Chunk Community Capital. We do a lot of things at Ho Chunk Community Capital, financial literacy being one of our missions, actually. But we do lending. We do IDA program, which is like a match savings, and that's meant for like home buyers.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we do quite a bit of things over there, but financial literacy is basically our foundation of why we're here. So
Awesome. So how do people, I mean, like, what would be my question here? So let's talk about credit, because I feel like a lot of people are very hesitant or very scared when when the topic of credit comes up. So I use Credit Karma to watch my credit score. So what is credit, and why is it so important, and how do people build good credit?
build good credit.
Yeah.
I would say stay away from credit cards.
I second that.
No, I mean,
Why is that?
Yeah. Well, it's basically it's a risk factor with banks, with mortgages, with auto loans, all like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to have good credit, saying that I have regular payments. I'm not a risk. For the future. We have, people can get loans from us, like just micro personal, and we actually report to the credit bureaus as well.
What?
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
we've helped people that had absolutely no credit, like they just dealt with cash up till, they were like in their 40s. They had like they actually brought their Credit Karma score to me. It was a 0. And I was like, what the heck?
That's a real thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He dealt with just cash his whole life. And I was like, well, you're going to get a loan through us. We're going to report, So that was his first like credit building, But that was, it was essential because, he had intentions of like buying a vehicle or home ownership in the future. And, all these lenders, they look at that. They look at that you're making your payments on time. We just had our home buyers seminar a couple weeks ago, and that was one of the things the lender was talking about. It's like, we want to see that you're making your regular payments. I mean, it's not based on credit, like approvals and everything, but like the better your score, the lower your interest rate, and that's just going to save money over the course of like the term of the loan,
So how does credit work in itself? Like, let's say I come to you and I get a loan. Like, how does that work as far as like I make my payments on time? How does the credit bureau like take note of like, okay, you've done this or you did that? Like, what do they all look at?
Basically just your history, as like, if you had a $100 payment a month, whatever, and you make that payment on time. But some people don't even want to make the payment early, because they say it takes up to a year to really establish like a good regular payments where your history looks great, So we used to do just 6-month loans, and now we have extended it to a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so and granted the payments are relatively low and everything, but it just shows like on your profile that she can be trusted with what we're giving her.
Yes. So when we are applying for credit cards, what are some things to be aware of? Like the ideal thing is not to apply for credit cards. Is that, would that be like the ideal way to go, or like? Credit cards, that's an industry in itself. Obviously they're out to make, a better interest off of you, but they're necessary with like emergency services or something like that, and people do but saving your money, cash is always king, but I just kind of put some numbers together here talking about like interest rates, because I was in the same boat with this. I always laugh. I had a friend up at HCI. Her name was, she's deceased now, Nancy, but she was a great lady. And she told me, he's like, Tony, you got to take care of these things. You can't just let it sit, And I was laughing. I tried to get a water cooler from H2O for you, and I got denied. I was like,
I can't. That's like $15 a month, man. What the heck? I was like, what? Am I that bad? You know?
Got the cuts.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I got to buy it now. So I don't want no credit. But I said right then, I said, okay, I got to make a plan. You know, and I put my own plan together. I didn't use like Center for Student Loan or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, these are the things I need to do. I need to take care of my student loan. I need to start, you know, I don't even know what my score was because I didn't want to check it. I was scared. I was like, well, we're at 3? Are we at 3? You know. So, but yeah, I just made a plan. I just said, okay, I'm gonna start saving. I'm gonna put more into principal, all these things like that to like get myself out of debt.
Yes.
You know, and I have a couple credit cards, and I only use them sparingly, and I pay them off at the end of the month because I don't like interest. So I don't like paying somebody something extra. That's just
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To avoid it. So let's see, because I know that there's like PayPal credit cards and like all kinds of.
There's a everything credit card, like
and
for
like
every
Kohl's.
company. Yeah, like Kohl's, like everywhere that like you shop at, it's like they have their own store credit card.
Okay, so what do you mean when you say interest rate and principal? What are those terms? What is that?
Interest is basically what you're paying to use their money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know at one point in time, like, you know, I think in Sioux Falls or something, Sioux Falls, South Dakota has like the highest interest rate. It used to, like, it was like maxed out like 28.99%. You know, so I look at my stuff as like 16%, but I was just looking at like the average credit card debt in the United States is like $7,900. I just looked it up today.
And that's only just credit.
Yeah,
and
that's just
not
credit
even,
cards. Yep.
What is it? Personal loans and mortgages, student debt too as well. That's just credit.
That's just credit cards.
Wow.
And I can't even imagine, you know. But you think about the interest rate up. You're paying $105 extra a month just to use their money, and like, you know, people are like, I'm gonna make the minimum payment, and it doesn't go anywhere. You know?
And there's different stipulations too, right? When you look at different credit cards, because you might have to pay it all in 1 month, correct? Or you can do split up payments, but it depends on what is in those terms and conditions when you sign, you know, for the credit card. Is that correct? Or
Well, they have like minimum fees, you know, and if you don't make that payment, then it's like, oh, here's your penalty fee, here's your late fee, and it just seems like it's just,
just snowballs.
I would consider it like predatory lending to like, because you know, if we don't know like financial literacy wise, like we don't know what we're getting into. And I said I signed up for a credit card when I was 20 years old when I was in Panama City. You know, I was playing baseball down there and say, hey, here's a card. I'm like, what? You know, I was like, well, yeah, sure. I was like, I didn't think I was going to get it. I said, I don't even have a job, dude. You know? The next you know, in my mail, I got a card. I'm like, okay, so.
Let's run it up.
Spend it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Do not do that. Yeah.
Do not be like Monica.
Yeah. So Monica, we were talking right before we started, and you had mentioned something about like you didn't even want to look at your credit score because it just made you nervous, or like. So what has been your personal journey with like your credit, if you want to?
Yeah. Okay, girl. So here's my story. Let me file for bankruptcy after this. Okay. So when I turned 18, I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to get a credit card. Because like growing up, my mom would never get one, and I never understood, right? Like when we would go shopping, they'd be like, do you want to apply for this card? And she'd be like, no. And I would always be like, why? Like they're trying to give you money, you know? And she was like, because if you don't have the money for it, like right then and there, then you don't need it. Okay, well, I turned 18 and I was like, bet. So
let me sign this.
Yeah, so I have a good amount of credit card debt. I definitely fit into like that national average as far as my debt goes. And then I also have student loan debt. I've never owned a home, so I don't have that type of debt. But between student loan debt and my credit card debt, my numbers are up there. So it's like when I look at like my Credit Karma, I'm just like, oh, I got to do something about this. And then I'm like, okay, maybe like not now though. So I just stay off of it. Or the other day I was like, okay, there's been times where I've like logged in and it's been like, consolidate your debt with one of these loans. So then I started looking at it, and then that's when I started paying attention to like interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was looking at the interest rates, and like I think like one of them was like 26%. And so yeah, and I'm not really good at math, but one thing I do know is like percents, because when you go shopping and something's on sale, I like to figure out what the actual price
No,
is.
that's good though.
Yeah. So then I went and I was like, okay, if I get a loan for this much, and then I did like, you know, the APR and the interest rates, which that's the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then I did the math on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pay them back like almost
Way
triple
more,
what I
yeah.
borrow. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, never mind. I'll make the payments. But yeah, I avoid Credit Karma. Like, but it's cool because when I'm doing good, I'm on Credit Karma like every month. Like, did my score go up?
It is. I actually just started, you know, using the Credit Karma app. I think there's other apps too.
Mhm.
I like Credit Karma, and I actually started working at trying to eliminate some of the debt that I've acquired.
Right.
So it's very nice. They check it periodically. There's like a timeline that they do that or whatever. And it's actually been really good once you realize, or like once you're okay with like, okay, I know this needs to be worked on. How do I tackle this down?
Mhm.
And then in that app, it gives you all of the things that are, you know, through the credit bureau reporting system. And
That foreign language.
I know, I was like, whoever is the big credit, you know, entity,
The big bank.
you're able to kind of see where you need to, and I think it tells you too, like you can negotiate for less, you can pay it in full, you can dispute it, which is a whole nother thing as far as like consumer law, which I highly encourage everyone to know, you know, what your state's consumer laws are, because if you're going to build your credit, that is one tool that you can put in your little toolbox to dispute. And then, you know, because they have to make sure that their information is accurate on their end, and if they don't, then that's kind of your
Loophole?
segue, your little loop. Yeah, I like that. Your little loophole.
I'd be
I like
seeing that on
so.
TikTok, and I'd be like, ooh, these people are tricky.
Mhm. So, but knowledge is power, and that's what I think at the end of the day is like, the more knowledge you have about credit, and the more that you are, you know, you're more comfortable with it, then you can navigate through that and, you know, build your credit up and eliminate some of that debt. So, going back to Tony. So, tell us a little bit more about credit. Like, I know you have some facts here.
Some
Drop
facts.
this knowledge on us.
Some gems.
Let's see.
He's like looking through it.
Hold on.
Well, I did have a question. So you had said something about the Center for Siouxland. What is the Center for Siouxland?
That's another nonprofit. They're right in downtown Sioux City, and they help with like financial management. They'll do like classes with you, and they'll actually the first thing they do is they'll give you a sheet and say, okay, write down everything that you've spent in the last 2 weeks. You know, from payday to payday or month to month. You know, it's like,
Mine's gonna
okay.
be like food.
I know they would look at me like, girl, what are you doing?
Don't judge me.
And then they'll just like go through and say, okay, you know, what is a necessity? You know, wants and needs, you know.
Yes.
And so that's where there's like, you know, they'll just give you advice. It's like, okay, if this is where you want to get in, you know, like with a mortgage or get yourself, you know, financially able to make those decisions, they said they'll put a program together for you.
Right
So,
on. That's cool. And they're totally free, or is it
Yep,
like for?
yeah, it's totally
okay.
free. You can call them and
They're
they'll
like,
set
we
up
have an
an
interest
appointment.
rate. No, I'm just kidding.
We have an interest rate of our own.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, they do everything for free. They're a nonprofit.
They're nonprofit.
Yeah, you just got to get a hold of them. They have some. I just called them last week, and they have some staffing issues, so it's a little bit slow down right
yeah,
now.
for sure.
But definitely, I mean, they're a resource that we reach out to. Like, I mean, because obviously a lot of our clients ain't, and, you know, they're in Sioux City, you know,
Yeah.
and they have like the actual, you know, certificates to be credit coaching, counseling. So we always send a lot of clients that way.
Right on. Right on. So tell me a little bit more about Ho Chunk Community Capital
Yes.
Corporation.
What do we come to you? Well, I owe you some money, so I know a little bit, but
I can't figure that. I owe Tony. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, I owe Tony.
yeah, a lot of people. Look, people are like exiting out. They're like, no, I owe him some money. I don't want him to see me watching. But yeah, what can we as tribal members come to you for, or what do you offer?
Wow. Let's see. No, I mean, we're in a lot of things over at the CDFI there. And actually, CDFI is Community Development Financial Institution.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we do the financial literacy, we do lending, like we said, debt consolidation, we do debt consolidation loans, and those are all at 8%, and that's been the rate we've had since we started.
That's really good.
Oh,
But-
yeah, I was going to say, that's not bad.
That's
Credit
lower
Karma
than-
was trying to give me 26.
Yeah, don't take that. Don't take that.
That's
So,
more than double.
yeah.
Right?
But yeah, we have personal loans, and then we have small business loans, and we came up last year with an insurance deductible loan, because we had that
Wow.
we had that financial literacy little class a couple weeks about
Yeah,
last
no,
month.
I definitely wanted to check it out, but
Yep.
then I was like, oh, I have something else. So,
Yeah.
are you going to be doing more of those?
We want to, but we got to get some funding. So
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's always the key. But I mean, I asked in the class. I was like, I said, okay, I mean, who here has some savings? I said, if you was to drive home today and hit a deer or something like that, and your deductible's $1,000, I said, hands up, who has $1,000? And
Why'd you look at me?
and everybody
I was like, hold
kind of
on.
looked around. And
He
People
scanned the room in here
I know, I
real
was like,
quick.
people are going to hit me up for $5. I'm like, no, I need this.
This is mine.
It's mine.
But yeah, there was no savings.
Yeah.
And that's a part of financial literacy is like knowing you have to put some money away because there's always rainy days.
Right.
And that will keep you from like jumping into the credit card side of it.
So what was it? I just went to Missoula, Montana, probably about a couple weeks ago, and I ran into I wanted to get a car rental, right? But they're like, "Oh, what's your major credit card that you have?" And I was like, "What?" I have a debit card, like I have enough for like what you're asking,
Right.
but they're like, "No, we only accept major credit cards," and so. I was like, man, all right. So
Gonna have to lift it then.
got on my Uber app. My Uber. no, there was Hertz. Hertz. They did car rentals with debit cards, but it was like an insane amount of like deposit, like safety deposit down or whatever security deposit.
Like a hold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, that could have been money where I could have gone if we were gonna go somewhere or whatever, but. Also, too, I try to do my best to budget during trips, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So
Sometimes we just want to have fun. We gonna buy the T-shirt for the event.
But also, too, that's because I did have a savings. I did have money put away where I could use that and utilize it, and I was able to use the car rental and still get my money back and things like that. So it's very important to have savings. My question to you is, were you taught this in school or anywhere in your childhood or upbringing? Like, were you sat down and talked about what credit is and like budgeting and things like that?
No, not at all. I said, I think that, we lack that financial literacy. And in fact, I just want to say we wrote a grant just recently where we're trying to get like 4-H or Future Farmers of America to get into our schools because that 4-H program, I mean, that's teaching like numbers and budgets. And I mean, even it was like, selling, I know one of my contacts, they were selling like the corn on the street, and then they knew how much they were going to make per year. I mean, they had it down to a science, I said, that's what we need in our school.
Yeah,
just to break it down. And that's just going to relay into like family budgets, personal budgets later on in life. But we need that, in our schools,
Yes.
But personally, I said, I probably just like everybody else, just grew up very, very poverty stricken, whatever. I said, and I was in the boat where it's like, hey, I got some money, and that's where I got myself into trouble, early in life. Then I was like, wait a minute. I said, now I have a family, because I remember one time when my twins were born, I was like, didn't have enough for milk, I was like, holy smokes, man. So Dad, and I don't like borrowing.
Yeah.
But he gave it to me, and then I realized right then, I was like, okay, I got to be more cognizant because I have a family that is dependent on me.
Yep.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's where we need to start with this is at the school level, and just have it grow into like just be in cerebral process.
Yeah, for sure. I also, like, I know that there's, like, clothing distribution allowances and things like that, like, things that we get from our tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think, like, okay, so if it is to ever be, like, where can I double my money? Like, how can I invest this money? Yes, I know my kids need clothes, but also, too, like, how can I grow this money? So is there any way or anything that you do as far as, like, investment or, like, you know, having people... you know, teaching them how to invest smartly, or like how do they grow their money?
Always bet on black. No, just
Hard rock.
Yeah.
Put everything down on the line.
Take it down to Winnevegas. Sometimes their tables are open, not always though. Call ahead. Slot machines haven't been given a lot of prizes lately.
No. We actually, the person that did the financial literacy, her name was Shantae Moore, and she's a native. She's Navajo, and she does
those
like
Navajos, man.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say they're on their game when
they-
it comes to the financial literacy.
Yeah. She does like investments and like you know, take care of your money, financial. I mean, you can find about anybody. And so you look up financial manager and you find like wealth manager, which is a crazy term for natives, wealth.
Wealth.
But we
I'm
are
gonna be wealthy
we're
one
turning
day.
the corner for this, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things also, like, you know, I was talking about like kids as like we need to think about future wise, you know. I mean, present day value of money, future value of money. And I mean, I went to school and some of my friends like own apartment complexes. I'm like, holy smokes. So I said, where did you, but they were all farmers, you know, and they knew like, you know, hey, I said, I don't want to work till I'm 85, you know. So I want to do some things that, you know, enjoy my life, you know, work hard and then enjoy my life later on, you know. But I would definitely, you know, things are changing with our tribe, you know. I know there's a big like factors going in about possible per cap down the line. You know, I think that before we even move to that level, I think we should have some kind of financial literacy for our kids and in the adults as well. That should be a prerequisite.
Yes.
You know, because I hear about other tribes, Minnesota and all like that have like thousands of dollars and it's a social issue.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do
There's
with it.
no education behind it and how to responsibly, you know, put your money away or how to use it responsibly.
Invest it too.
Totally.
Invest it.
Yep.
I love that word.
Yes. So are we going to see more financial literacy workshops or things like that from Ho-Chunk?
Yep, I believe we will. We can say get some
moolah.
time, some time and some more money into our budget to do that. You know, the lady she gave it this program for free. You know, but I mean, obviously she comes back. She's, you know, there's a contract we have to do.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, I'd love to see. I mean, the Center for Siouxland, they'll be willing to come.
Okay.
You know, they'd be willing to come and do some sessions, and then we had the VITA program. They said something about financial literacy that they could come back and do as well. So,
right on.
so there's other resources out there, you know.
So I'm currently working on small business workshops for Sioux City too as well. So I will definitely keep you in the toolbox too.
Yes, I
And,
thought
like,
about that at the last one.
Yeah. I definitely want to see our communities of color, you know, get above where they can, you know, pull themselves out of debt and, you know, really create that extra stream of revenue for themselves and sustain themselves too, but also like give back to the community. I feel like that's the biggest thing is like, yes, we'll help you, but also what are you doing for the community? So
Yeah, that, and then as people of color, the wage gap, that's real. That's a real thing. We could probably do a whole nother episode on that. But like, I think like in Nebraska, like Native Americans make like 70 cents on the dollar. So
yeah,
you know, that's crazy. But Q had asked you, Tony, to tell the viewers or the listeners about the 4-to-1 match and how to start planning, I guess, to purchase a home.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, I would say the 4-to-1 match was a 2-year program. Hopefully we get refunded. But it was available for 20 individuals to be able to put that money towards a home ownership, like some kind of purpose, right? So, and I've relayed this to a couple of times, like we need to ignite it with like contacting a lender, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes what you're going to find is they're going to say not right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said you have some credit issues, you have some debt issues, something like along the lines like that. And so this match savings program, we will actually work with you. Like if you say you saved $200, which is the max, right? $200, we'll put 4-to-1 match in our own account for you, right? And so you can do it for a year. So you would have $12,000 at the end of the year. Like, so say you had 12,000 car debt, right?
Mhm.
You put your money, you pay your portion, and then we pay our portion. And then that would just, because, debt to income ratio for buying a home is tops out 42%. So say you were at 45% and we paid that off for you, you're under that, and now you're able underwriting to get you approved, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's not available anymore.
We have some slots available because we had some people that actually fell out of the program. They thought, the
okay.
$200, it's financial times right now are tough,
Right.
Yeah,
you
they are.
know. But
Yes.
even if you saved 50, I
Mhm.
mean, 4-to-1, 200,
Mhm.
or 100. But you have to definitely prove that you're saving. So we want to see like your savings account every month that it's growing. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some people did the down payment assistance. So you can use it for additional down payment assistance.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it to credit repair or debt reduction.
I
So
like
those are the
that.
three. Yep, those are
Mhm.
the three.
And is this just for tribal members?
Yep.
Okay, so it's just for Winnebago tribal
Yep,
members?
just for
Okay.
Winnebago tribal
Okay.
members. It's a pilot program through one of the
Yeah.
foundations that we work with, and I would actually love to see it opened up to other natives.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe there's that, you lay the blueprint and then hopefully all the other tribal nations will be able to utilize that. I think that would be really cool.
Or
would
utilize
really-
us.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
we
that's what
opened it up to
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
And then
Yep.
because
Just
I mean
watch
at
it
the end of the
grow.
day too is like we're trying to help other nations too as well.
Right.
I think that needs to happen here, especially in Siouxland, because I don't remember ever getting any, knowledge on how to build credit. Like, I just learned about it, and I'm still figuring things out for myself. So, yeah, Monica, do you have any questions at all?
No, we covered interest rates and Center for Siouxland. I brought up the wage gap, but no, and then there's so to purchase a home in Winnebago, because you're with that too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So purchasing a home in Winnebago, before you can do that, you have to take a homeowner's class.
It's the seminar, that
It's a
home buyer seminar.
Yeah.
But it's a good starting point. But I have people stop in all the time and say, "Hey, I took the class." I said, "What do I need to do to apply for the funds?" And I
Right.
always tell them, "You need to get a lender to approve you. Cart before
Is
the
that
horse."
is that a bank or
Yeah,
when you say
that's-
lender,
yep,
is it
the
just
bank.
a bank?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Because we're going nowhere unless you have a bank that said they're going to loan you money. You know,
Mhm.
so I always
okay.
tell them, I'm not taking your application until you have that confirmation that you set to pull the trigger on it.
For sure.
Because down payment assistance, it should be, used for that capacity.
Mhm. And that's going to tie back to your credit, right? So it's good to build your credit or eliminate your debt. So how do people budget? If they are going to take this journey, how do they, what are some things to put in mind of a monthly budget? How would you break that down to someone? If I am your child and I come up to you and I said, "Dad, I want to build a better financial scene for myself. How do I do that?" What advice would you give?
Like I said, wants and needs. Break it down. I know one of my wants that I don't need is that Scooter's coffee, right?
Oh, Scooters
my
is so
gosh.
good.
I'm an independent contractor, and so I a lot of things are tax deductible, and I made the unfortunate path where I looked and seen how many times I went to Scooters, and I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
We should own a
yeah.
Scooters by now.
Yeah, I should.
Right.
But that's it. It's what do you actually need for your household, and how I do it is I worked with Tu and Maggie Maggie Miller and Two Sharpback a long time ago. I always want to mention that. Shout out to them.
Hey, shout out.
But when we did that, they worked with me, I always told them, make sure you get your 80, right?
The 80? What's that?
Your 80 hours.
80 hours. What is that?
That's every 2 weeks. You're supposed to work 80
hours.
hours.
Okay.
Make sure you get your 80, because once you get your 80, then you know what you're working with, money-wise. You know, I said if you get a buffer of like a bonus or something like that, then you can always put that towards something else. You know, but always make sure that way you know where I'm sitting. Like, you know, I got $4,000 for the month. I need to pay my rent, mortgage, or whatever like that, and then whatever's left over. I always say whenever I get paid again, whatever I see I have left in like my operating money, I throw in savings. You know.
Yeah.
But I said wants and needs. Obviously, you need electricity, you know, and all that. But you know,
do you really though? No, I'm just kidding. There's like this TV show where it's what is it, like they're cheapskates or whatever, and it's like the bare minimum.
Oh, really?
No way.
Yeah.
I could never.
This lady was like taking army showers, and it was literally just like turning it on for a little bit and then like scrubbing yourself down and then turn it back on. And
like a jail shower? She just pressed the button and went for like 30 seconds. That's crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, you mentioned emergency savings or like having emergency funds. What is like the recommended amount that you would put into your emergency
fund?
Yeah.
You know, they say to start out with 1,000.
1,000?
Right, 1,000.
I was like, all right.
Okay, so like taking steps.
Be broke? No.
Yes, could be broke. Can't afford that.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna aim a little lower. I'm gonna go 500. I'll build from there. I'm just a podcaster, Tony. I don't have 80 hours.
I'm doing this for free. No.
First step, $2. Okay.
Put that away now.
Okay, my bad. Real funny.
1,000 is a good
good starter, and then, but they say like to keep kind of building that because, I mean, I can't imagine having it, but they say like having 3 months worth of your income, you know, because things can change dramatically if you want to lose your job,
or your car breaks down, or yeah.
So I mean, I can't say I've gotten to that level at all, but you know, just like. I continue to save, you know.
Safe than sorry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But the thing about it also is like, you know, savings is one thing, but like I say, making your money work for you too.
Yeah.
You know? And so like my bank is pretty good. Like I think it was like, if you put it into CDs, like 3.5% or something like that. But I mean, you want to make your money work too. Is like getting like, you know, 12, 13 return on investment, you know. And so that's where a financial advisor, that's their job, is to make you money. They'll take their portion off the top.
Yeah. Right? I met a financial advisor like a couple weekends ago, and he was really talking to me about it, and I was really listening. He almost convinced me to become a financial advisor. Girl, I was like, that sounds like a job for me.
Life.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not good at math, but he makes good money.
Do it.
Yeah. So, and then he like pulled up Indeed, and he was like, look at all these jobs for financial advisors. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a financial advisor. I'm going to help people invest their money. And I was like, never mind. No, I'm not. I would lose these people's money. I would probably spend it. If ever I become a financial advisor, y'all do not give me your money.
Don't do it.
Do not trust Monica.
That's funny. You're like, no, it's good. It's going to come up. No.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. Watch, I'm going to flip it.
It's going to go up, I promise.
Yeah, it's going to. Don't even worry about it. The market is crashing. It's not me. I know I was just on vacation, but it wasn't me. It's the market.
Yeah. What is a good way to invest money? Are there, I mean, like, what is it? I feel like small businesses, like creating your own small business, but also too, like
be careful with the small business.
Some small businesses.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we actually. One of the things I was going to say is like we have a lot of like side hustle people in Winnebago, and one of the grants we actually have. I should probably say this over here is those people that want to be like food vendors or production vendors. We have a small grant, a very small grant. It's like $250, but
that's
that's
something.
that helps with like inventory or like transportation, like that. But those are available to any like new like farmers market vendors. So you had to get a hold of 2 for that, for like the application and everything. But we've only had 1, 2, 3, 4 people, and we got 20 slots for that.
Ooh, y'all better get on it.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because Sunrose had just commented and was like, what about entrepreneur grants? So it was like you just started talking about it, and she had just like commented, but like the small business grants,
this is meant because it's from the Native American Ag Fund, so it's got to be dealing with food.
With food,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Oh,
okay, so the food, okay,
Yep.
I totally get it.
Yep.
Yeah, but Tony definitely helps with like small businesses, because when I first moved back to Sioux City, Tony was one of my very first connects before I opened Moon. He had kind of taught me about like business plans, and then gave me like the connects of who I needed to talk to from the SBA, and G just even told me what the SBA was.
Small Business Administration.
Yeah, their website and stuff like that. So
Yep. I even showed her the location too. So
I just led you to the front door. Here's
Tony.
your financial abundance.
Tony was a big moving force behind Moon. So
That's good though, because we
Yeah.
need more people like that, because I feel like, you know, especially as natives, like we don't necessarily know all of those systems, who to go for, or who to look for, and like what's available to us.
Yeah.
The language even too, like when you go to the bank and said, okay, you're not qualified for that, and then you're like, okay, let me go, what do I qualify for? What
Right.
you know, what is on the table for me? What, you know, learning how to talk with bankers and, you know, people that are dealing with money, you know,
Right.
how to talk to them, their language and their lingo. So
right. Tony's also a realtor, so
oh, you are?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I got in the door.
Come
That's how I got
Tell
in
us
the door.
more about
Yeah,
this.
that's how I
Tony.
got in the
Like,
door.
Dang, this is cool. Okay,
Yeah,
you got
so-
a realtor, and tell us more about that. Like,
A realtor? Yeah, I became a realtor about 4.5 years ago. So I worked in Indian Land here for about 20 some years. Well, Indian Land, HCI, a couple different things, and the land company. But I wanted to continue to help, you know, with like people with like their either the land or purchase. So I said, well, I'll just go get my license, you know. And I'm a minority. I thought I was a minority before, but shoot, that's I got a couple of friends that are actually realtors that are native, and we compromise 0.0017% of the industry. That's it.
get you a native realtor, y'all.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It's like because
I'm about to become a realtor.
with all
You
all
do
the,
way too much talking about not about to be a realtor. We opened up with a mental health check, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm good. I'm stressed out. Still stressed out.
I'm doing good. No.
But I feel like it's a good profession because, like, one as Indians and tribes, we have like the most land mass in the United States, right?
Right.
So I feel like we should be like, you know, lifting up our native professionals that are in this field, you know, because it's really funny. I was doing some research on this, but you know how back in the 1920s or early 1900s, and we lost our land,
Right.
all those sales didn't have realtors, right? But the Realtor Association has been around since like 1906.
That's
right?
crazy.
So we had no representation.
Right.
So obviously, signing over your land for, you know, I really think that if we had some kind of legal representation back then, I don't think we would have lost the amount we have.
Right.
Hashtag land back.
Land back.
Land back. All of it. No.
All of it. Give it all back.
Give it all back.
No, but seriously, I'm laughing, but I'm serious.
Seriously.
I really mean it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that this is just natives in general need to be more involved in the financial world and like know all these things, because it is important to know that. As far as like tribes go, is there certain advantages to, you know, maybe to loans, or what are the advantages of actually living on the reservation when you're trying to create your financial wealth, I guess? Maybe
That's a
like
good
in a small
question.
business. Yeah.
In a small business. I mean, that program you did with the small business, we actually do the same thing here, but on a much more smaller level, because we've had the SBA Community Navigators grant for 2 years, but we could not get anybody in
And that's the biggest thing too, is
to get somebody hired to do those things. So that's what, we definitely wanted to, we didn't want to send the money back. We said, let's do what we can. We're already in lending. We're a small business, so let's start just following up on leads, see if anybody needs business assistance, whatever. So we've been doing that now for probably the last 4 months, is really pushing it.
Yeah.
But me and Two Sharpback are the community navigators on that. That's one of the, we're going to have some, we're planning on doing a little networking session here shortly, probably in July.
And let me know about that.
Yeah, it was like, tag me. Tag me in the post.
Yeah.
I'll promote it and I'll be there.
Yeah.
Just don't make it powwow weekend.
Because I can't.
Because I can't.
Can't do it.
I'll be busy eating.
Yeah, but we have the lending, definitely, we want to start from, if you have an idea, let's formulate that. Let's put some finance behind it. What's it going to take? How are you going to cash flow? Because if you're just making it to be having fun, I said having fun is cool too, but you got to put some money in your pocket. That's about wealth. Try to build wealth.
Right.
Financial freedom. Yeah.
So this networking, I just had a meeting last week, and that was what we wanted to create. Is we want to have these ongoing, not like meetings or anything, but just having an ecosystem, right? So we can come together and this person does this, or this person does this. This is what this person offers, and bringing all of these small business owners in one area to be okay, well, maybe I have bad credit. This is the person that I need to talk to. Or maybe I'm in the business planning, phase of everything. I need to talk to this person. This is who's going to help me. I feel like a lot of the resources that the challenge is representation matters too.
Right.
So having someone that looks like you, knows kind of the, the background of where you live, and knowing, okay, I know your challenges, but here's how I'm going to help you get through those challenges. And here's the person that you need to go to that's actually going to help you, and not just put on a big front and put DEI check mark. I involved you, so we're inclusive. No. I want somebody that's actually going to help me get to the next phase of what I'm trying to accomplish for myself, my family, my community. So, sorry, went off on, I got on my soapbox.
I agree, because I didn't attend your guys' session you had up in Sioux City, but I did want to go because I was thinking, I've heard it before.
Yeah.
It's I've heard $50,000 grants. That does not happen, right? $50,000 grants do not happen. We have grant money, we have loan money, but at the end, that's what I like about Whole Trunk Community Capital is that we almost like a vertical integration of the whole thing. We want to help with the ideation. We want to help formulate the idea.
Yeah.
Let's go through the steps, graduate you through this program, and then, boom, we got some money at the end.
I like that.
And so, that's the way I see it. Is that's the wonderful thing about the resource we have on the reservation is that. Granted, we could use some help, but because we do a lot of things programming wise within our office. And would love to see somebody else come in and help a little bit more, you know.
For sure.
But of course, you need the money too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always about the money.
That's what this whole episode is about.
It's a circle. Yeah. No.
Spun back. So we're in our last couple minutes. So I'm real interested in home buying. So just kind of a quick step. First step would be to contact a lender.
Yep.
And then second step, if you want to purchase a home in Winnebago, would be to come to you in the organization.
Well, I would be like the financial assistance person. I do not do anything with the home purchases. I can definitely connect you with that person. But I could get you in the IDA program to assist. We could do debt consolidation loans to we did this for somebody last year. And here their score went up 100 points.
Ooh, dang.
That's
just
what
like
I need.
that. Just like that.
I need 100 points.
Yeah. So and it alleviated, the interest rate that they were paying before. But and then once you get all those things with your the home builder or whatever like that, and come to me. We'll get the down payment assistance application started. And
Hey, I like that.
I know it sounds so easy, but yeah, you'll be hearing from me.
Just go right into the office.
I'm serious.
Right after this episode.
I was like, we actually have a meeting. I don't know if you got that memo. But no, I'm tired of living in the city. I'm trying to come back home. So
That's eventually what I'm looking at towards too as well. It's like I want to come back and I want my roots to be here. 'Cause that's
Exactly.
where,
Yeah.
That's what I feel like is home. So
I say that, but Scooters is right down the street for me. So
I know.
but also too, like, how do we also build more small businesses around here where it entices other communities to start coming in investing in our own?
yeah.
So Curtis J. Alexander Jr. It kind of caddies off that, I think, anyways. I don't know all the language, but they had commented and said the USDA has back loans for rural development that could work with the tribe's DPA program. I don't know what that means, but that's what they said.
Email me, Curtis. No.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, how do people get a hold of you? Like, where can they access?
They can look up Whole Chunk Community Capital on Facebook. We have a lot of contact stuff on there. Our website is not real good, so
That's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a work in progress.
yeah, and that's wholechunkcdfi.org.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need a webmaster or something because I don't know how to do that. So
Well, if you guys are paying, I can help.
I know, that's what I was like, it goes back to money.
Full circle.
Yep.
Also, if you need his business card, I have a whole bunch of them. Hit me up.
Right.
and that's a newer picture than the ones you guys put up. So.
I was like, dang.
I know, I seen that last night. I was like, man, that's like 12 years ago, man.
It was funny because when I saw it, I was like, gee, Tony's really young in that picture. But I was like, okay. And then he messaged me.
Yep. Had thicker hair. So I was like, holy smokes, they
You're
went
like,
way
who
back.
is this on the show
Who is
today?
this? Who is this new person? He has the same name as the other Tony.
That's funny. Before we close out today, can you tell us a little bit about what you do at the farmers market? Wow, I can't talk.
That's okay.
Farmers market. I think it's every Friday.
Yep,
Or
it's every Friday. We actually, we organize that day. Hopefully, weather-wise, it's always down there. But Two Sharpback's actually the coordinator, so she gets all the farmers market vendors, whatever, to, commit to the day, and we try to get as much traffic as we can down there as well. So we have some marketing money. Actually, we want to do a couple of events down there. And then my role right now is I'm just giving out raffle tickets. Just to let you know, is every $5 you spend down there, we'll give you a raffle ticket, and we're going to give out $100 gift cards the Friday before powwow.
Oh, man, let me go.
Like, okay.
I can spend $5.
I'm about to come here.
I'm going to be like, Tony, I know I owe you money, but I'm not here. But I spent $5, so where is my raffle ticket? With my sunglasses on and stuff. It's be like, Monica, I still know that's you. No, it's not.
But yeah, I mean, that's the other part about it. So Two is like our lead too. So she'll contact some of the people down there if they want to are interested in accelerating their business or talk about a loan or how could I do this better. I said come to my office. Let's talk.
Awesome.
So I'm always down on site. If they want to talk about some things, I'm always there.
Awesome, cool. Monica, what is our next week's episode?
Next week's episode, we have special guest Molly Pace, and we'll be talking about why it's important to take care of yourself, what self-care looks like from a therapist's point of view.
Right on. And you can catch our episodes if you want to listen in on the podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio. There's YouTube, Winnebago Big Voice, and then Google and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Tony, thank you so much for being here.
Right, thank
I
you.
totally appreciate it. And we will be talking soon.
All right.
Awesome.
See you.
Later.